Hi guys, how you doing today? I have another product regrets video for you. I have done a couple of these in the past. I don't like to dwell too much on the negative, but I think these are popular, and I think the reason they're popular is because, you know, we don't want to waste our money, right? So we look to our friends for advice, and I hope that's why you're here. I want to give you some good advice today. So as always, disclaimer, these don't work for me for whatever reason, and I will go through all the reasons and let you know why. And if they do work for you, I am very, very happy for you. Truly, I am truly happy they work for you, because that means you didn't waste your money like I did. So if they do work for you, let us know in the comments why, but I'm just going to jump right into it. So the reason I thought I would do this today is because I have recently done a declutter on my channel. I'm still in the midst of posting these declutters kind of every 2 weeks, but all this stuff that I've decluttered, a lot of it is because I regret it for whatever reason. And before I actually get it out of my collection, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Not all of these are being decluttered, but a few of them are. So first of all, let's talk about these two primers. These are from Hard Candy. Hard Candy has a lot of hit and miss type items. I think sometimes they have super affordable things that are really, really great, and then they do have some things I really love. But a lot of the time when they miss, it's a big miss. And for me, these two are a big miss because they simply don't do what they claim they're going to. So these are both primers. These are from the Sheer Envy line. This is the Lift and Firm primer, and this is the Shine Free primer. So if you're new here, welcome. I have super duper oily skin, and so I'm always trying to try out Shine Free mattifying products. So this, to me, I tried this many times. I had it in a monthly project so that I used it multiple times, and it's a good primer for makeup just sticking to your face, but it is not mattifying in the least. It didn't make one iota of difference to my oil breaking through whatever foundation I tried with this. So that was a big no. And then this one is called Lift and Firm. So it says moisturizes, brightens, and tightens facial contours. And I just think that is a huge claim. Even some of the most high-end products claim to tighten your face and lift and firm, and they don't quite deliver. I really don't think an $8 primer is going to deliver on that claim. But, you know, I wanted to try it because it was just like, yeah, lift and firm, we all want that, don't we, at a certain age? So I tried it, and it really doesn't do anything. So I have this palette here, and I think a lot of people love it, but it just doesn't work for me. This is the NYX Strobe of Genius Illuminating Palette. So I was super excited when NYX came to Canada in our major drugstores. You know, we would be able to get it online, different places before, but for the most part, it wasn't readily available. And now it is in all of our biggest drugstores. So when this came to town, I was super excited. I love highlighters, and to get like 7 in one palette I thought was so amazing. And I do love tons of things from NYX, but you guys, these are just so powdery. Now, I did watch some people review this palette, and they all seem to love it, so I don't know if it's just me on this one, but honestly, I just can't love this palette. All of these here, these biggest ones, are just super duper powdery, and like, they do show up. There's nothing wrong with the pigmentation, but I don't like how powdery they are and how they sit on my skin. This gold one here, I do feel like is super light and patchy, so I don't like that one at all. I will say though, this lavender shade here is so unique and beautiful, and this one actually is very silky smooth, and I do like, oh, excuse the beeping, I do like this one a lot. But I can't keep an entire palette for one shade. I was tempted to, because I love that lavender shade that much, but the rest of them, I just never use them, and I feel guilty every time I look at this because I think about the money I spent on it and that I never use it, and so I just feel a lot of guilt with this palette. Just recently, like in maybe 1 or 2 videos before this, I did an e.l.f. try-on haul, and there were a lot of things that I actually ended up liking a lot from that haul, but this one I don't, and I'm going to be returning it. So this is the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Foundation Serum. This is in the shade Light Medium. In my Walmart, it only came in 2 shades. I don't know if there are more than that. It does, you know, it's all based around being natural yet flawless and all that kind of stuff. It does say it's going to gently mask imperfections, but it says flawless. So to me, those two things don't go together unless you already have flawless skin. And if that's the case, why do you even need a foundation? Do you know what I mean? So to me, this was just a little too light of a light sheer coverage, but also that would have been okay, but also it really oxidized. Like, I looked like an orange Oompa Loompa, and I'm just not into that look. So I'm going to be returning this simply because of the oxidation. Is that even the right word? But also it just does not work for oily skin. It doesn't claim to, but it doesn't work for my oily skin. I was super oily using that foundation. So that's why I'm gonna be returning that. So next thing is from IT Cosmetics. This is the Your Skin But Better CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder. This has SPF 50. Now that's the whole entire reason I bought this powder, because I am so into SPF. Like, I always say, when I'm 45, I want to look 35. You know, like, I always want to look 10 years younger, and that is all about taking care of your skin. And so I'm always into SPF, make sure I'm wearing it all the time. But when you wear makeup, it's really hard to reapply SPF because you can't obviously put sunscreen on top of your makeup. So whenever I see something like this, whether it's a setting spray or a powder where I can like do it throughout the day on top of what's already there and get that SPF, it really excites me. So that's why I bought this. And this is just super powdery. I mean, it's a powder, duh, but it's like, it adds that whole cakey, powdery look to your face. Even with setting spray on top, like MAC Fix Plus to kind of sheer it out or give you back that kind of natural look, it still is just super cakey. It also kicks up a ton of powder when you put a brush in it, so the product gets really wasted too. Considering the price tag on this, like, that is not a good thing. So I am going to keep this and use it up because I love the SPF element of it, but I just won't repurchase it and I don't really recommend it. This was a sample I got, but I really wanted to love this, and if I would have loved it, I would have bought the full size. So this is the new formulation of the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer. This was like a gift with purchase type thing. I did use this quite a bit in the summertime. I actually was trying to use it up, but it just ended up not working. Now, this is a very thick, very full coverage concealer, and I loved that about it because I have super dark circles, and actually today my dark circles are really fighting with me badly. They want to come through today. But this is such a drying and really just cakey concealer. Like, it really just looks like Sahara Desert under the eyes, and it really just kind of does not play well with powder. When you set it, I tried setting it with different types of powder, I tried baking with different types of powder, and everything I tried using with this, it just looked cakey and horrible and not good, and it creased a lot. I got this in some kind of Sephora box, you know, their Christmas gift sets or whatever. This is the Clinique Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlight. So it is a cream highlight. It comes in a stick form and you just apply it. The actual highlight itself is not terrible. It's kind of a, you know, a nice natural looking highlight, but to me, I just don't like the format and how you need to apply this. So it's so kind of hard and dry that you can't really just put it on top of your face because it does wipe away whatever's underneath, foundation, whatever, powder, whatever, however you're applying this before you finish your face or it's your last step, whatever it is, it's wiping away whatever is underneath it. And that's my biggest complaint about this. I just don't like the format of this at all. So this is a no for me as well. This here, I tried to like this. I tried so many times, so many different ways to use this and love this, and it was not cheap. So I am not very happy with the fact that I don't like this. So this is the MAC Pro Powder in Emphasize. Jaclyn Hill made me buy this. She's always talking about it, and you know, Jaclyn doesn't normally steer me wrong, but with this it doesn't work for me. So this is a powder that you can set your under eye with. You can use it to highlight your face. It's just kind of a brightening powder, but for me it just doesn't do enough. Like, it doesn't brighten enough. it doesn't show up on my skin. I don't know, maybe that's because my skin color, like the tone of my skin is a little bit darker than hers or whatever, but it just doesn't work for me. And when I did try using this to set under my eye, it really caked up and creased a lot as well. So this is a much newer product, and I have heard some people say they love this. So this is probably one of these, you know, it might work for me but not for you type deals. Like, it's probably way more personal preference than actual formula. But this is one of the new butter blushes from Physicians Formula, and if you have been around for a while, you know I adore this guy. This is my daily bronzer, the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I'm trying to pan it this year. Like, you can see the nice ripples are no longer ripples. They are just like crumpled bed sheets. So that is such a favorite for me. I was so excited when these came out, but this just is so unpigmented, and it's not even, okay, let me just show you. So that's what it looks like. Can you even see it? That's supposed to be a blush. Can you even see it? And when I, like, even if I really try to give you a heavier swatch, like a very, very heavy swatch, there you go. That's like digging my finger in it. It does show up more, but that would definitely not be a blush. That would be a highlight. So I think on the fairest of the fair, this might be okay as a blush. This is the one in Natural Glow. There is one called Plum Rose, I think, which is slightly darker, and I think that one is still probably too light for me, but probably dark enough for some people. So for me, this is just a highlight, and even then it's kind of like a very, very natural highlight, not even, you know, a very intense highlight. This might not be even worth talking about, but I did order this off of the Essence website. This is the Essence blush brush. I did a whole video, hits and misses, best and worst of Essence. You guys seem to love that video. So, you know, go watch that if you want to know my opinion on tons of their products. But this I just wanted to mention because it's just a joke. Like, this is literally just a joke of a brush. This is something you would get in like play makeup when you're 8 years old. So this is like just synthetic. It does not blend at all. How is this even a blush brush with the shape of it? I actually did try to contour with this because I thought maybe, but no, it just did not blend at all. So because they still offer this on their website and maybe in stores, I don't know, I thought I would throw that in there, let you guys know to avoid that one. This one here, this is a kind of, it works sometimes product. So this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Liner Noir. They just came out with these along with their new mascara, I think the end of last year. So this has a very pointy felt tip. It is very black. I actually think the product is very decent, but here's the thing about it. It transfers a lot. So when I first wore this, you know, I just wore it like a regular winged eyeliner. I didn't have anything in my waterline except for just like nude liner, and it transferred so bad. It was all gray and splotchy down here. It looked awful. So that was a big fat no. However, it's still usable if you're going to be putting black like eyeliner in your waterline. So at that point, the transfer, you don't even see it, and it's a good liner. It does seem to like last on the wing. It didn't smudge or anything like that, and it is nice and black. So for me, this is kind of like, this here, you guys might be like, what? Come on now. But this, I just don't like it. This is pure personal preference. This is the YSL Rouge Volupte Shine. This is number 17. I love the packaging on this. I did talk about this in like my favorite packaging video, but to me, I don't like the formula, I don't like the texture, and I don't like the smell of these, and I would never buy another one. This just has this super duper sweet, like fake chemical smell to me, and I am so big on smells. If I don't like the way something smells, that's it, I can't use it. And this is a nice shade and everything. It's fairly opaque for being a sheer lipstick, but I also don't like the formula on it. I feel like this is a very slippery formula. It's not that gel, pillowy, plush feeling on your lips. It's much more slippery, and it slides all over the place, and it's a very thin consistency, and I don't like that. So again, personal preference, but I do regret buying that a lot because it was so expensive. Very last thing I'm going to talk about, I got this in my Beautylish Lucky Bag this year. This is the Clean Apothecary Brush Shampoo. I did use this the last time I cleaned my brushes. I used quite a bit of it because literally every one of my brushes needed to be cleaned. It smells really good. It smells like citrus, but it's really an annoying product because what you're supposed to do, let me just grab a brush. You're supposed to wet your brush, swirl it all around in here, and then you just rinse your brush out. Great. It gets your brushes clean. They look great. They don't dry out. That's all great. The thing I hate about this is that it takes forever to rinse the brush out. It's almost like the soap doesn't want to come out. It's in there. It took me 3 times the amount of time to clean my brushes than it normally does. So for that reason, not a fan of this. Of course, I'm gonna use it up since I have it. It's just a little bit of a pain in the butt. So that's it, guys. That is it for my product regrets this time around. You know, every few months I will bring you these, I'm sure, because I'm constantly testing new things, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like. I hope that I always give you the pros and cons and it's just not like, hey, I didn't like this and not tell you why. So I hope that you got a lot of valuable information out of this. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. I'd love to see you around in my future videos. I hope you're having a great day today. I hope that you've complimented yourself today and that you feel great about yourself today. So I will see you around in my next videos, guys. Bye.